something needs to be understood, because I think so many people look at aging as a disease. So I'm going to be sharing my thoughts on myths about aging and probably interject some truths, okay? So happy Sunday, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. If you are new, thank you for stopping in today. My name is Lydia. I am over 60 and I am here to inspire women to design their lives as they age. Oftentimes people feel that when you get to a certain age that life has stopped and that you need to settle into old age, settle into these myths and thoughts about what it is to be an old lady or a grandma. And I live my life unapologetically, and I share that here on the channel. I inspire women to take their life lessons and use them to be better in life, to inspire other women to do the same. Keep living, keep traveling, keep loving, love self, and share your lessons of life with others. So if this is the type of content you think you enjoy, please stop by. I am a recent minimalist, so I do share that as well on the channel, how I changed my life from consumption to minimalizing so that I can do more things that I enjoy. So if you feel that this is something you're interested in, I invite you to keep watching. Well, welcome back, everybody. Thank you for tuning in today. I forgot to say, if you are a subscriber, one of my girlfriends, my exclusive members, I really appreciate you for coming back, and thank you. Make sure you thumbs up this video, subscribe if you are new and have not. What you waiting on? Come on and join us. So thank you all for tuning in today. So this is not going to be a very long video, but I do want to share some thoughts about myths on aging, because it's just something about it. And I'm gonna tell you, when I was younger, I probably believed some of them as well. You know, I don't think I ever thought about getting past 50. I think 50 was the age where I thought, oh, I'm old. But when I turned 50, guys, my life was thriving. I was still enjoying things, and I was good. Now I do understand that sometimes, you know, you can have health challenges and things like that. But just the thought of being 50 was not the problem. But I think a lot of people have misconceptions about that. So we're going to share some thoughts on that today. One of the things that I think is big about aging is people feel that at this stage of life you can't do things. You can't learn. You know, you're not capable of learning more and being able to actually do these things. But that is an individual thing. It depends on how you have treated yourself, what you continue to do. Especially, I talk about this quite a bit, about moving your body. It's not about being just fit, you know, to a certain degree. And I got my air quotes up here because I think it's a misconception that you have to look a certain way. But I think that as long as you are treating your body good, you're eating a balanced meal, you're mindful of the things that you're consuming, and you're moving this body. It is so important to do that. I have a stretch routine that I do every single day to ensure that my body stays flexible. My range of motion is good. Now, like I stated before, you know, because I'll have some people chime in, but I know this is not possible for a lot of people, but this is not locked into older people. You could be young and have mobility issues or physical problems. But I feel that as we get older, we get, you know, complacent, and we become sedentary, and we forget that we need to get up and we need to move and we need to still do things. If it's something as simple as walking, you know, if you're in a neighborhood where you can walk around the block, do that a couple times a day. Get up and do some stretching, and you'll see the difference that it will make in your life, and it'll, you know, encourage you to continue to be active. So that is one myth, that we can't do anything, that, you know, we have gotten to a point where all we can do is just sit down and cook and be grandmas. That is a myth. Another myth is that older people are lonely and isolated. I think in a lot of cases that people don't look at that being isolated as a choice. I do recognize within me that as I have gotten older, that I do love my alone time. I do love being able to spend time with myself. And I do think a lot of times it's a misconception, because the older you get, I think you know, your friend group may grow smaller. And that could be for many different things. It's not because you're lonely or you're depressed. It's just because you outgrow people at times. Sometimes relationships just, dwindle away. You grow apart. Sometimes you move away and the friendships are just not the same. So I've noticed in my life that the friends I had, 20, 30 years ago, even though I don't have bad relationships with all of them, it's just the fact that our lives went in different directions. We're busy and we just don't have the type of friendships anymore. But that doesn't mean I'm lonely. That doesn't mean I'm isolated. And I'm very selective now in the fact that I have gained wisdom and knowledge about true friendships, what relationships are supposed to look like. And so I'm very selective on the people that I bring into my inner circle. So it doesn't mean that, but that I'm not saying that people can't be. But you do know that depression and isolation can happen a lot younger. So that is not something that all older people are locked into. Sometimes they just love their private space, their alone time. It's very therapeutic, it's very helpful, and you learn a lot about yourself when you spend quality time with yourself. Another thing I think people fear about getting older is that dementia is inevitable. And I don't agree with that. I think one of the things that we forsake and we need to be mindful of is that we need to continue to exercise this muscle. Your brain is a muscle, and you need to continue to do that. I think memory loss or being forgetful is something that may happen to most adults. But I think if you are cognizant of making sure that you are exercising your mind, and that could be via reading, reading things to just make sure that you are still feeding your brain. I think that can happen even younger because I think a lot of people don't realize the importance of this brain up here and what you feed it. Staying away from negativity, all the drama and the arguments and toxic relationships that are in your life sometimes can cause that. Abusing your body, whether it's through addictions, can affect that. I know that. I live around that. So I do understand the importance of making sure that I continue to be peaceful and live in a calm environment, making sure that I don't have those relationships that are constantly stressing me out. When I do have those in my life, I do realize that it's time for me to move away. So I make a decision at that time to have balance. So make sure that the relationships and the people that you are constantly around, that could even also be your work. It could be your work. Making sure that you make choices about life that's going to affect you. Because I'm going to tell you something. I don't care how much money you make at a job. It could be important to you to make good money, but it is not worth your health. So be mindful of what is filtering in here. And because your brain, it sucks in, it's like a sponge. It sucks in everything that you give it. So it's important that you exercise this, that you're mindful of, just continuing to be positive, be around positive environments as much as possible. Now I'm going to switch to some positive things about, aging that I want to counteract some of that stuff. I believe that older people oftentimes can be happier. You know why? It's because I think after you have experienced a lot of loss, a lot of pain and suffering, and you get to this place where you're feeling balanced and you have rid yourself of the toxicity in your life, or the lessons of life have been learned, and whether it's financially or the people that you surround yourself with, the things that you do for a living, you get to a place where you're just very peaceful in your environment. You make sure that the space that you live in is rid from all of that. You don't allow it in. That's one of the reasons why I don't entertain in my home. People often talk to me about, Lydia, why you don't have company? Because I'm not going to invite those spirits into my house. I will meet people out. I'll do things with them that way. But I don't want to invite toxicity into my home. And this is my safe haven. This is where I come to relax. This is my place where I have a peace. When I done had a hard day out, I can come here and I can go, ah. So that's very important to me. This is one that I think is very, very important to a lot of people, that as you age, that you don't enjoy intimacy. That could be further from the truth. And the funny thing about that, I think the people that say that are people that are younger. And how do you know if you're not older? That is a myth, that you don't have desires, that you don't want intimacy, and that is sex. And or company of the opposite sex. That could be further from the truth. I'm not going to dive in that deeply, but if you want to know more about it, you're welcome to hit me up and ask questions. And the last one that I'm going to share in this video, I might, revisit this topic again, is that we don't want social interactions via activities outside our homes, entertainment. I love music. I love to dance. I love to sing. I love traveling. I love girl trips. I do a lot of things. I love to visit museums. I love learning, and I'm going to keep doing it. I love dressing fashionably. I love makeup. I love a lot of different things. It doesn't change just because you have gotten older. A lot of people feel that, that means the end of life. So you better just enjoy everything now. It just depends on you as an individual, how you want to be. If you want to continue to live, just continue to make sure you take care of yourself and enjoy life to the fullest. And that's what we do here on Living Life by Design. We talk about how we can continue that. And I just give examples of the ways that I do that in these short videos. So thank you all for watching. If you have any comments, please drop them below. Let's continue this conversation. I know there are a lot more women out here that want to share their thoughts on aging and their views on it and the myths that they've heard. Drop them below and we can continue the conversation there. So thank you all for watching. Don't forget to subscribe now if you haven't. And thumbs up this video and share it with somebody that might need it, okay? And I thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.